Welcome back to the July edition of What's Up Stratford. And joining me next is the co-founder of the Stratford Film Festival, Megan Smith Harris. Well, Megan, thanks very much for joining me.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Peter.
So let's talk about you first. Your background, you're a comedy writer for both CBC and Second City. So how did that jump? How did you get into that?
Well, I actually studied theater. I have a degree in theater, and but I was 6 feet tall at 12. So when you're a tall woman, they put you in comedy roles. So I ended up funneling into comedy, and I'd always loved, Lucy Ricardo and Mary Tyler Moore and all the greats and Tina Fey. And so I worked with Second City, the touring company, and then I co-wrote and started my own show that ran for a couple of years, and then did some CBC radio comedy for a couple of years. But then I went back to become, I went to the Canadian Film Center to become a film producer, and ended up moving more behind the camera and doing serious documentaries. So I've done a little bit of both.
And one of those you did was Trial by Fire.
Yes. Well, I'm impressed that you know that. Trial by Fire Lives Reforged. Yeah, it was a feature-length documentary, and it has aired, it's still airing in the US on Amazon Prime. And it was distributed by PBS International all around the world. And very proud of that film.
And your experience goes back to the Connecticut Film Festival. So just tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I'm Canadian, but I married a lovely American who now lives with me in Stratford and is very happy to be a permanent resident here in Canada. And we were asked, I was a editor of a magazine down there, a lifestyle magazine, and my husband had a strong background in film and television. He worked with A&E Networks in New York and was, VP of broadcast operations. And so we both had a lot of television and film experience. And my boss at the magazine had been asked to take over a festival that was kind of struggling. It had only been around for 2 years, and he knew that we had traveled with our film, Trial by Fire, to many festivals all over North America, and knew that I wanted to start a festival. So he said, "Hey, would you two think about doing this?" So we took it over with Jeffrey's help, and we ran it for 3 years, and we quadrupled the attendance and the fundraising, and it was just a lot of fun. And I thought, yeah, I want to do this. And I knew I wanted to move to Stratford because I wanted to come back to Canada after 24 years in the States, which was wonderful. Raised our son there, but it was time to come home. And I love Stratford. I felt like this was the missing cultural piece, and that there's so much theater, there's music, there's art, and I thought film would fit right in there. And fortunately, I've been right so far.
So you founded this, but isn't there 1956 connection with Tom Patterson and the Stratford Film Festival?
Yes, actually, Tom Patterson launched the Stratford Film Festival in 1956. It ran until 1961, and it was really ahead of his time, as he was in many areas, because it was one of the first international film festivals in Canada, in North America, actually. And they had many celebrated actors and films here, and it was a heady time. It shut down in 1961, and then it was resurrected in 1971 and ran till 1975. And it was doing well, but the funding was siphoned off to go to TIFF. And so they had to kind of wind it down. And it's 50 years later, and we are reamping it up, and it's been going well since November.
That's awesome. Tell us in summary what's going on this month in July.
In July, we're showing a comedy. It's very recent. It was just released in the States. It hasn't been released in Canada yet. It's called Bad Shabbos, and it's all shot in the Upper West Side of Manhattan in a duplex apartment. It's got a fantastic ensemble cast led by Kira Sedgwick, and it's about a Jewish family and the son is marrying a Catholic girl, and her parents are in, I think it's from Wisconsin, and they're meeting for the first time. So already there's a setup there, but then something really bad happens just before her parents arrive, and it's a lot of belly laughs. I just saw it a few weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, we need this. We need this right now because the news is not a lot of fun every day, and it's summertime, and who doesn't love a good comedy?
Again, thank you for bringing the film festival and bringing back to life in Stratford. Thank you very much.
So happy to do so. Thank you for having me.